Hi everybody, happy Teddy Bear Hospital Day. My name's Aiden.
My name's Paige.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're the leaders for the Family Med Interest Group. We're really glad that you stopped by to watch our video today virtually. So let's learn a little bit about what the Family Med Interest Group does.
So Family Med Interest Group just wrapped up our primary care month, where we had a lot of alumni from around the country speak to us virtually about their careers in the diverse field that is family medicine.
We also do chief complaint sessions every month, where one of the Family Med residents comes and talks to the med students about a chief complaint, such as fever or muscle pain, and they go through what it would be like having a patient with that complaint and what the physical exam findings would be like.
So thanks for stopping by and learning more about the Family Med Interest Group. We hope you enjoy our video about tobacco cessation. Thanks. Thanks so much for coming in for your annual physical this year. How have you been?
I'm good. I had a great year.
That's awesome to hear. So before we get started this year, we wanted to have a quick conversation with you about the dangers of tobacco.
Isn't that what's in cigarettes?
Right, exactly. That's what's in cigarettes. Do you know what all of the different chemicals in cigarettes are?
No, not really.
All right, well, it's things like nicotine and tar. Tar, here I have a little jar here that shows tar. This is a year's worth of jar that you can see in here. It's kind of gross. Also, there's things like carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, mercury, arsenic, so lots of dangerous stuff in there.
To be honest, I don't really know what any of those things are.
That's fair. That is fair. But they're all very dangerous. Things like nicotine can be dangerous for your heart. Tar can cause lung cancer. Formaldehyde causes your skin to get irritated, and it also can cause cancer. So a lot of bad stuff in there.
I see. This isn't the first time I've heard that smoking is bad for your health.
That's good. I'm glad that you've heard that in other places. Can you think of some of the short-term consequences of smoking cigarettes?
Well, I know it makes it harder for you to breathe.
Right, exactly. It makes it much harder for you to breathe. Also, it can make your breath smell pretty bad, and your clothes can smell like cigarettes as well. I have another demonstration here, a little model of some of the teeth decay that can happen from long-term cigarette smoking, so it can be bad for your teeth as well.
Wow, it really affects you a lot.
Right. And long-term, it also can cause a lot of different types of cancer and also can really injure your lungs.
Your lungs help you to breathe, right?
Exactly. Your lungs are the things that are helping you to breathe.
So for all of you watching at home, we have a little demonstration that we want you to try. So all you're going to need for this is a straw. If you could go search around your house and see if you could find a straw. If you have asthma, this might not be a good activity for you to do. So what we want you to do is put the straw in your mouth and hold your nose and run in place for 15 to 30 seconds. And this is going to simulate what it feels like to try to breathe after you've been smoking cigarettes for a long time and your lungs can't hold as much oxygen. That was really difficult to try to breathe through that straw. Okay, now let's check back in on our conversation with the bear.
I think it's also important to recognize how expensive it can be to smoke.
What do you mean?
Well, how much do you think it costs for a pack of cigarettes?
I don't know, like $3?
Well, it's actually more like $7. So if a person smokes a pack a day for a week, that's now $49. If you carry that all the way to a month, that's $196. For a whole year, that's $2,352. And now let's say they keep that up for 10 years, that's now $23,520.
Wow, that's a lot of money. I can think of a bunch of different ways to spend that.
Yeah, I think that we all probably could.
I have a question.
Okay.
What about electronic cigarettes? Are those safer?
It's a good question. A lot of people talk about e-cigarettes, yeah. So really, a lot of people thought that those were a safer alternative, but they're really not. So you have to kind of think about that. They still have nicotine in them, so they're still really addictive, and they have all the harmful effects of nicotine. And they also, a lot of them have been found to actually have things that cause cancer in them, like formaldehyde.
I've also heard of Juuls. What about those?
So Juuls have become really popular lately. So I'm glad you brought those up. So those have like a really large quantity of nicotine in them. One Juul pod is the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. So they're super addictive, and again, the same harmful effects of nicotine. They also are flavored. A lot of them are flavored, like fruit flavored and things like that. And that's really because they want a younger audience, so kids, to start getting hooked on them. Again, they're really addictive.
Wow, so they want young people to start smoking?
Yes, you got to remember that all of these companies that sell cigarettes or e-cigs or Juuls, they're businesses and they're trying to make money. And so they see the younger crowd as a potential people who will buy their product and use them for a long time. So a lot of their advertisements are targeting towards younger audience. So you got to try to remember that.
I've seen a lot of people smoking in movies and TVs and video games.
Yeah, that's very true. It's kind of all over the place. And you just have to remember how dangerous it is for us to smoke, and recognize that even though some of our favorite characters might do it, that doesn't mean that it's okay for us.
That makes a lot of sense.
How about your friends? Do your friends smoke?
No, they don't.
That's great to hear. So just remember all the things that you learned here today, and you can share that information with your friends too. And also just remember everything that you learned if you're ever in a situation where your friends are smoking.
All right. Thank you for talking to me today.
Of course. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for having this conversation.